since I've been Natty Pale Bum.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with this new physique update from Sergio Oliva Jr. And you have got to admit that Sergio at this current size that is holding on to right now at about 12 weeks out. That is looking pretty damn impressive. And you better believe he looks way bigger and way harder in person. Because every single person who has seen Sergio live and in person, they have said the same thing. That it is just so unbelievable how wide Sergio is in real life and how big the man is. So at this point we are assuming that Sergio is going for this upcoming FIBO in Germany, which is happening in the second week of April. So roughly 12 to 13 weeks out. So maybe him pairing up with a new coach in the form of Stefan, that was the one thing that he needed to fulfill his true potential, to come in at his 100%, to absolutely nail his peak. Because the thing is, Sergio has been saying this for all these years, that the reason he has been unable to win big shows, or any pro shows for that matter, after 2017, is that he just cannot peak right. On the day of the show, he cannot show up at his 100%. Well, I guess we will find out soon enough whether a different coach can help him with that. For those of you guys who do not know, he was being coached by Chris Aceto, and then he went to Neil Hill, which obviously did not turn out to be a good choice for Sergio, and they parted ways without even doing a single show together. So the last set of progress pictures that Sergio posted, he weighed about 308 pounds in those pictures. So this right here is pretty damn impressive by Sergio and his coach Stefan, and hopefully they're gonna break the curse, and Sergio is gonna finally win his second pro show in 2025, 7 years later, after winning his first ever pro show, which was the New York Pro, back in 2017, and hopefully we are gonna see him on the Olympia stage this year. Meso Olympia Signature Series is now live on hostile.com. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% discount, and click the arrow below to check out all the Hostile products. Next up we have the physique update of Martin-Fitzwater, who is looking absolutely huge and massive at 16 weeks out of this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. So with Martin having the same of making himself a millionaire this year by winning this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, as well as Dubai Pro, indirectly he has the same of hindering many of these athletes from earning their Olympia spots for this year. Now, after placing top 4 at this past Miss Olympia, which by the way was his Olympia debut, Martin is no longer an underdog. So there is obviously gonna be some pressure on him this time to perform at the highest level and bring his 100% in every single show that he does. Now he released a new video that must have been from either the Olympia or the Pro Prep, and you just immediately realize why he was able to make such a huge impact last year. Now he had some weak points, like his arms 2 years back, but if you look at him now, for his height, he has been able to fill out that frame so damn well. And I don't think there are any weak points on this guy anymore. He has no weak shots. His density and the muscle maturity at the age of 27, that is truly exceptional. And the good thing is that he is very clear about his plan of action for this upcoming year and for the future. And that is not trying to get too big too fast, because that literally ruins careers. But that pressure is gonna mount if he loses to a bigger guy, like for instance the mutant Nick Walker at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, or maybe Derek Linsford as well. Now Martin was the breakout star of last year, and to top that, he's gonna have to start this year with a bang by winning this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro.
Since I've been Natty Pale Bum.
What's the true definition of natty now?
Total test, less than when I was in high school.
This specific part from Chris Bumstead's most recent YouTube video that must have gotten the most traction, because anytime an IFBB proclaims that he is 100% natural or natty, at that time, at that moment, like Chris did here, a lot of people get triggered. And just keep in mind, cbum did mention that he's just kidding here. Now I think cbum still looks extremely impressive at this phase of the year, where the man is trying to rebuild the foundation once again, so that he can get bigger and stronger for the later part of the year.
Total test, less than when I was in high school. Does that count? That was a joke. No one take it seriously. Everybody relax.
Now after cbum announced that retirement, he said he's gonna be jacked at a bigger body weight, and he's gonna be able to be more functional as well. So this will be a very interesting journey to follow. Now, I don't think he will ever try to make a comeback. The man has just got way too many things going on in his life at the moment, with expanding his business and other stuff. And he kind of wrecked his body by training as heavy as he could have for almost a decade, especially during the early part of his career. And we all saw he started having those injuries, especially at the tail end of his classic physique career. So the comeback won't be worth the risk. His legacy has already been cemented as one of the greatest classic physique champion of all time, and one of the greatest bodybuilder ever to step on any bodybuilding stage. Maybe down the line, we might see a new genetic phenomenon. He might be able to take down the record of Chris Bumstead of 6 Miss Olympia titles, and that too consecutively. But that is highly unlikely that someone is going to have that same impact in the fitness industry as cbum had, or still does. Michael Daboul posted a 5.5 weeks old physique update from this upcoming Arnold. So at this far out of the show, Michael is probably the biggest guy in classic physique division. He's dense and round, and the man is looking pretty damn lean as well. So this is gonna be the year where Michael will compete the most. He will try to do the most number of pro shows in a single year ever since he turned pro. So he is doing this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, the New York Pro, Dubai Pro, both the Arnolds, and some other shows as well. So he is definitely going to be stacking up some wins, and he is going to try to get close to being the most winning classic pro in this particular division. So Michael Daboul is certainly one of those guys who would benefit a lot if there is more room to grow, to get bigger in classic. He will most probably bring that same level of shreds, same kind of conditioning, but he will be more bigger and more muscular and more fuller. So after Mike Sommerfeld, Mike is the first guy in line in contend for this upcoming Arnold, because he was top 7 at the Olympia last year, beating best visors. So the Arnold Classic in classic physique division that has a very small lineup, but this will be a very unpredictable show, because just like Fazi wasn't able to do well at the Olympia last year, Mike also has to prove himself that he can peak the same way as he did for this past Miss Olympia. And he has to prove his worth once again if he wants to be the favorite going into this upcoming Miss Olympia this year. Next up, we have the off-season physique update from Brett Wilkin, or rather a vacation update. So Brett has been pushing extremely hard for these past few weeks. He won the Legion Sports 2 weeks prior to the Olympia last year. So the push for off-season, that has also started. So winning the first Olympia qualifier for this year, that did give him an edge, so that he can utilize a lot more time to get bigger, to put on more muscle. Because as per the men's open bodybuilding standards, Brett still needs more size, more mass, if he wants to have a shot at cracking that top 10 at his first ever Miss Olympia, or maybe place even higher than that. Now Brett is also very driven and a dedicated athlete, so these vacations was much needed before he locks himself in for the year ahead. So with Samson Dauda competing 2 weeks prior to the Olympia in France last year, that was also a big motivating factor for a lot of these guys to do a show right before the Olympia, and Brett has also hinted about that as well. Now Brett has been one of the most consistent guy in terms of being truly shredded on the stage. Now if he's able to bring more size with that same kind of conditioning, he will be a force to be reckoned with this year. Keone Pearson, the reigning 2 times 212 Olympia champion, reveals his first physique update after getting his gyno surgery done. Now for a guy who just started training a week ago, the man is looking crazy good. So those are top tier genetics. And every year, Keone is getting closer to what an ideal physique should look like. Yes, some people are gonna say that his abs are far from being ideal, and Keone is totally cool with that. He's doing lots of abdominal control and more vacuum practice this year to make sure his waist stays super tight, as Keone is gonna continue building up more muscle, more mass, and try to get bigger into the men's open class, because that is eventually gonna happen in 3 to 4 years. So that 212 Olympia title is totally locked in by Keone for as long as he wants to. He is so young and way too good for the rest of the competition, and if he's able to make that same kind of transformation as he did from 2023 to 2024, it will be lights out once again, and it might be an even more dominating win this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.